Alex, a seasoned manager at a bustling marketing firm, sits at his desk, eyes fixed on the quarterly reports spread before him. The numbers are down, deadlines are slipping, and the once vibrant energy of his team has dwindled to a monotonous routine. Frustration knots his brow as he murmurs, "What am I missing?" Little does he know, the answer isn't buried in new strategies or cutting-edge technologies, but lies in a nearly century-old psychological phenomenon known as the Hawthorne Effect. Have you ever felt that your team's potential is just out of reach, like an unopened treasure chest waiting for the right key? What if unlocking that potential doesn't require drastic overhauls, but simply a new way of paying attention? Join us as we explore how the Hawthorne Effect could be the game-changing secret you've been searching for. Welcome back to our channel, where we delve into the psychology of effective leadership and high-performing teams. Today, we're unraveling the mystery of the Hawthorne Effect, a powerful yet often overlooked principle that could revolutionize your workplace. To really grasp what the Hawthorne Effect is all about, let's imagine we're going back in time to the 1920s. Picture a big factory called the Hawthorne Works, located in Illinois. This factory was bustling with workers assembling telephone equipment. Now, a group of researchers decided to study how different changes in the workplace might affect how well the employees worked. They wanted to see if they could make the workers more productive, meaning, could they help them make more products in the same amount of time? So, the researchers started to change various things in the work environment to see what would happen. For example, they tried making the lights brighter in the factory to see if better lighting would help the workers see better and work faster. Then, they tried dimming the lights to see if that had any effect. They also adjusted work hours, making the shifts longer or shorter, and changed the number and length of breaks the workers got during the day. Here's where it gets interesting. Every time they made a change, no matter what it was, the workers' productivity went up, even when they returned the settings back to how they were before. Like bringing the lighting back to its original level, the workers still performed better than before any changes were made. But then, when the study ended, the researchers stopped making changes and went back to their offices. They no longer interacted with the workers or observed them closely. And guess what? The workers' productivity went back down to where it was before the study began. This puzzled the researchers. Why did productivity improve when changes were being made but drop when the study stopped? After thinking about it, they realized something important. It wasn't the physical changes, like the lighting or the length of breaks, that made the workers more productive. Instead, it was the fact that the workers knew they were being watched and that someone was paying attention to them. You see, during the experiments, the workers felt observed and valued. The researchers were interacting with them, asking for their opinions, and showing interest in their work. This made the workers feel important, and as a result, they worked harder and better. So, the big takeaway was that people's performance can improve simply because they're receiving attention, not necessarily because of any specific changes in their work conditions. This idea, that people may change their behavior just because they know they're being observed, is what we now call the Hawthorne Effect. Returning to Alex, our perplexed manager. In his quest for answers, he attends a leadership seminar where a speaker introduces the Hawthorne Effect. Intrigued, Alex muses, could this be the missing piece? Determined to find out, he decides to put this theory into practice. At its core, the Hawthorne Effect highlights a simple yet profound truth about human nature. We perform better when we feel observed and valued. It's not about surveillance or scrutiny, but about recognition and genuine interest. When leaders show they care, employees often respond with increased motivation and productivity. This principle taps into our innate desire for acknowledgement and belonging. But how does this play out in a real-world setting? How can you, as a leader or team member, harness this effect without crossing into micromanagement or artificiality? Let's delve deeper into Alex's journey to find out. Alex returns to the office with a newfound sense of purpose. Instead of his usual routine of back-to-back meetings and isolated decision-making, he starts spending time on the floor with his team. He engages in casual conversations, asks for their input on projects, and shows genuine interest in their challenges and successes. At first, His team is skeptical. Why the sudden change? They whisper among themselves. But as days turn into weeks, they notice that Alex's interest isn't a fleeting phase. He's genuinely invested in their work and well-being. His door is open, his demeanor approachable, and his interaction sincere. Take Sarah, a talented graphic designer who's been feeling uninspired lately. One afternoon, Alex stops by her desk and compliments her latest design, asking about her creative process. Surprised but pleased, Sarah feels seen and valued. This recognition reignites her passion, and she begins pushing creative boundaries, bringing fresh ideas to the table. Meanwhile, James, a junior copywriter struggling with writer's block, finds Alex sitting beside him, not to chastise, but to understand what's holding him back. They brainstorm together, and James leaves the meeting feeling supported and motivated. The fog lifts, and his productivity soars. Word spreads throughout the office about Alex's new approach. Team members start collaborating more, sharing ideas freely, and taking initiative on projects. The energy in the office shifts from stagnant to dynamic. Meetings become more engaging, and the hum of creative buzz fills the air. Employees who once clocked in and out now linger to discuss new ideas or help a colleague. The sense of camaraderie strengthens, and the workplace becomes more than just a place to earn a paycheck. It becomes a community. You might be thinking, that's great for Alex, but how can I apply this without it feeling forced or artificial? The key lies in authenticity. The Hawthorne Effect isn't a manipulative tactic. It's about genuinely caring for your team's well-being and success. People can sense when attention is sincere versus when it's a mere checkbox on a managerial to-do list. Instead of scheduled, obligatory check-ins, Alex makes his interactions organic. He remembers personal details, asking Lisa how her daughter's soccer game went or congratulating Mark on completing his marathon. These small gestures build trust and show that he values them as individuals, not just employees. Consider the case of Mary Barra, the CEO of General Motors. When she took the helm, she focused on creating a culture where employees felt heard and valued. She implemented the Speak Up for Safety program, encouraging workers at all levels to voice concerns without fear of retribution. This shift not only improved employee engagement, but also led to better safety records and product quality. It demonstrated how attentive leadership could have tangible, positive outcomes. Research supports these approaches. A study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that employees who felt their managers were attentive and supportive exhibited higher job satisfaction and performance levels. It's not just anecdotal, it's scientifically validated. When people feel that their contributions matter, they're more likely to go the extra mile. But what about potential pitfalls? Could constant attention lead to dependency or reduced autonomy? It's a valid concern. The Hawthorne Effect shouldn't morph into micromanagement. It's about meaningful engagement, not hovering over every task. Alex is mindful of this balance. He encourages his team to make decisions within their scope, offering guidance but allowing them autonomy. He sets clear expectations and trusts his team's expertise, checking in for support rather than to control every aspect. This approach fosters a sense of ownership and confidence among team members. Months into his new approach, Alex sits down to review the latest reports. Not only have productivity and sales increased, but employee turnover has decreased significantly. The office buzzes with creativity and collaboration. He realizes that the investment he made in paying attention has yielded dividends far beyond his expectations. Eager to share his success, Alex presents his findings to the executive team. He advocates for a company-wide shift in leadership style, emphasizing the profound impact it can have on both morale and the bottom line. Inspired, the company organizes workshops to train other managers in attentive leadership, and soon, the entire organization begins to feel the positive effects. It's important to note that the Hawthorne Effect isn't confined to business settings. Educators harness it when they pay attention to students, boosting engagement and learning outcomes. Coaches apply it in sports, where acknowledging athletes' efforts enhances performance. The principle is universal. When people feel valued, they thrive. But what if you're not in a leadership position? Can you still leverage the Hawthorne effect? Absolutely. By acknowledging your peers' efforts, participating actively in meetings, and providing constructive feedback, you contribute to a positive work environment. A simple, "great job on that presentation" can go a long way in boosting a colleague's confidence. If you feel unnoticed, don't hesitate to proactively seek feedback or request one-on-one meetings with your manager. Open communication can bridge gaps and foster mutual understanding. For the Hawthorne effect to be sustainable, it should be embedded in the organization's culture. This involves policies and practices that promote recognition, open communication, and employee well-being. Regular surveys can gauge employee satisfaction and highlight areas for improvement. Establishing feedback loops ensures that concerns are addressed promptly, reinforcing a culture of attentiveness. Of course, change isn't always smooth sailing. Some may be skeptical of new approaches, resistant to stepping out of their comfort zones. Addressing this requires highlighting the benefits and providing support during the transition. Ensuring that attention is genuine is crucial. Authenticity builds trust, while insincerity breeds cynicism. Additionally, while increased engagement is positive, it's important to be mindful of workloads to prevent employee burnout. Organizations that embrace the principles behind the Hawthorne effect often see long-term benefits. Improved employee retention saves on recruitment costs and retains institutional knowledge. An engaged team is more likely to contribute creative ideas, enhancing innovation. Moreover, happy employees often lead to happy customers, boosting the company's reputation and success. Take Pixar Animation Studios as an example. Renowned not just for its blockbuster movies, but also for its innovative work culture, Pixar emphasizes an environment where everyone's ideas are valued. Ed Catmull, the co-founder, instituted regular meetings called brain trusts, allowing employees at all levels to contribute feedback on projects. This open exchange fosters creativity and commitment, embodying the Hawthorne effect on a grand scale. In today's world, remote work is more prevalent than ever. Can the Hawthorne effect still apply when teams are dispersed? Absolutely. Virtual check-ins using video calls help maintain face-to-face interaction, enhancing connection. Celebrating achievements in virtual meetings or through company-wide emails keeps recognition alive. Online collaboration tools allow for real-time feedback and engagement, bridging the physical distance. Consider Buffer, a fully remote company that prioritizes transparency and team engagement. Regular virtual retreats, open financials, and continuous feedback loops keep employees engaged despite the physical distance. Their attention to team well-being has resulted in high productivity and employee satisfaction, proving that attentive leadership transcends physical boundaries. Understanding why the Hawthorne effect works can deepen its impact. It taps into basic human needs identified in psychological theories like Maslow's hierarchy of needs and self-determination theory. These needs include belongingness, esteem, and autonomy. By addressing these needs through attentive leadership, you satisfy fundamental human drives that fuel motivation and performance. To sustain this engagement, it's important to encourage continual learning. Offering opportunities for professional development keeps employees engaged and invested. Regularly soliciting feedback strengthens relationships and shows that you value their input. Be willing to adapt and evolve your approach based on feedback and changing circumstances. In multicultural teams, understanding and applying the Hawthorne effect requires cultural sensitivity. What feels like genuine attention in one culture might be perceived differently in another. Educating yourself about your team members' cultural backgrounds, respecting differences, and ensuring inclusive practices are key to making everyone feel equally valued. Ignoring the principles behind the Hawthorne effect can lead to low morale, high turnover, and stagnant innovation. Disengaged employees may feel undervalued, leading to decreased productivity and a higher likelihood of leaving the company. The cost of replacing employees is high, not just financially but also in terms of lost knowledge and disrupted team dynamics. As Alex's company continues to thrive, he reflects on how a simple shift in his approach made such a profound difference. By paying attention, he didn't just improve productivity. He enriched the lives of his team members and created a more fulfilling work environment. The success stories multiply, and the positive culture becomes a defining characteristic of the company. The Hawthorne Effect teaches us that people are at the heart of any organization. When we prioritize human connections and genuine engagement, we unlock potential that strategies and technologies alone cannot achieve. It's a reminder that leadership isn't just about directing work. It's about fostering an environment where people feel valued and motivated to contribute their best. Now, we invite you to take the next step. Think about your own workplace. Is there someone who might benefit from a bit more attention or recognition? Choose one actionable idea from today's discussion and implement it this week. Observe the changes, no matter how small. Perhaps you'll notice a colleague's renewed enthusiasm or a team member's increased collaboration. Consider sharing your experiences with others to inspire a culture of attentive leadership. In a world obsessed with metrics and outcomes, let's not forget the power of human connection. By simply paying attention, we can transform not only our teams and organizations, but also contribute to a more empathetic and productive society. The Hawthorne Effect isn't just a managerial tool. It's a reminder of the profound impact we have on each other when we choose to engage authentically. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Hawthorne Effect. If you found this exploration insightful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to our channel for more journeys into the psychology of leadership and teamwork. Let's continue this path of growth and discovery together.